Folks, as you know, social media censorship is growing. The best way to support our video work for Israel is to subscribe to our video newsletter on pulseofisrael.com and to share our videos. If you are already a subscriber, then thank you. 2 additional ways to connect with and support Israel, they are so simple. 1, click on this link to help us strengthen Israel by strengthening Judea and Samaria. It's simple, everybody. Just click on the website and choose the best option that works for you to strengthen Judea and Samaria. And number 2, enjoy the beauty of Israel whenever you want. No matter where you are in the world, you can enjoy our online virtual tours of Israel. Just visit israelisbeautiful.com and choose the virtual video and activity package that works for you. It is crucially important for people to understand the Gaza war taking place today is not a new conflict of 2021. This is the 74th year of the 1948 Independence War that our enemies have never ended against us. What you are watching is Arab Muslim Israeli citizens shooting at Jewish residents in the Israeli city of Lod. This is one of the hundreds of violent incidents that have taken place over the past month and have escalated over the past few days between Muslim Arab Israeli citizens and their Jewish neighbors. This daily violence is not taking place in Gaza. It is not taking place in Ramallah. It is not taking place in Nablus or in other places in Judea and Samaria that the world likes to call the occupied territories. No, this horrendous violence is taking place in Lod, an Israeli city right next to Ben Gurion Airport near Tel Aviv. And it's not just happening in Lod, it's also happening in Ramla and in Haifa and in Akko and in other mixed Jewish-Muslim areas all across the state of Israel. Now, I want to play that video again so you can pay attention to what the Arab Muslim lady neighbor screams from her porch at the end of the video. Did you hear it? She screamed Allahu Akbar. She is a neighbor to the Jews being shot at, yet she is totally excited and supportive of her fellow Arab Muslim Lod Israeli citizens shooting at her Jewish neighbors. Folks, when will people wake up? People like to think that the desire to destroy Israel went away. But no. Our enemies today see that the Jewish state of Israel is weak, or so they think. They see that we're weak internally. They see that we're weak on an international geopolitical level with President Trump gone and Biden cozying up to Iran in charge. They think we're weak on a political level with no functioning government right now. And sensing all this weakness, the masks of our enemies within are coming off. Many Israeli Arab Muslims are no longer sitting by and playing along as good Israeli citizens. They are now showing their true faces with violence against their Jewish neighbors. Understand, it is not all of them. Not at all. There are plenty of Israeli Arab Muslims who are stepping in and saving the lives of some Jews who are being lynched by their Arab Muslim neighbors. And there are many Israeli Arab Muslims who understand how blessed they are to be Israeli citizens, having more rights and freedom here than in any Arab Muslim country. However, it is not about whether the evil ones are a majority or not. Just listen to what Brigitte Gabriel responded when someone used that claim with her.
There are 1.2 billion Muslims in the world today. Of course, not all of them are radicals. The majority of them are peaceful people. The radicals are estimated to be between 15 to 25%, according to all intelligence services around the world. That leaves 75% of them peaceful people. But when you look at 15 to 25% of the world Muslim population, you're looking at 180 million to 300 million people dedicated to the destruction of Western civilization. That is as big of the United States. So why should we worry about the radicals, 15 to 25%? Because it is the radicals that kill. Because it is the radicals that behead and massacre. When you look throughout history, when you look at all the lessons of history, most Germans were peaceful. Yet the Nazis drove the agenda. And as a result, 60 million people died. Almost 14 million in concentration camps. 6 million were Jews. The peaceful majority were irrelevant. When you look at Russia, most Russians were peaceful as well. Yet the Russians were able to kill 20 million people. The peaceful majority were irrelevant. When you look at China, for example, most Chinese were peaceful as well. Yet the Chinese were able to kill 70 million people. The peaceful majority were irrelevant. When you look at Japan prior to World War II, most Japanese were peaceful as well. Yet Japan was able to butcher its way across Southeast Asia, killing 12 million people, mostly killed with bayonets and shovels. The peaceful majority were irrelevant. On September 11th in the United States, we had 2.3 million Arab Muslims living in the United States. It took 19 hijackers, 19 radicals to bring America down to its knees, destroy the World Trade Center, attack the Pentagon, and kill almost 3,000 Americans that day. The peaceful majority were irrelevant. So for all our powers of reasons and us talking about moderate and peaceful Muslims, I'm glad you're here. But where are the others speaking out?
Now I want to go back to the fact that today's conflict is really the 74th year of the Independence War, and it is not a new conflict. I have always said that the day will come that our enemy's overconfidence will push Israel to the wall to respond, and that our enemies will bring upon themselves another Nakba, as they call it, or catastrophe. That's what they call what happened in 1948 when they lost their homes and became refugees. People send me horrible comments in response when I say or write that. They think I'm calling for horrible things to be done to the Arab Muslims. No, not at all. Those people prefer to believe the lies that the conflict is because of the settlements, or the occupation, or Jews going up to the Temple Mount. But they always ignore the fact that our enemies want to annihilate us, kill us, and destroy the Jewish state of Israel, even some enemies within as Israeli citizens. I don't wish a bad thing on anybody, but just as the Arabs before 1948 fought the Jews, they lost, and they ended up bringing a catastrophe upon themselves, losing their homes and becoming refugees for losing a war that they started, so too today. If our enemies within decide to continue to war against us, instead of living as peaceful Israeli citizens, enjoying the benefits and peace living as Israeli citizens, then they will eventually bring upon a catastrophe upon themselves today as well. It's cause and effect. It's that simple. Those Arab Muslim Israeli citizens taking part and supporting the violence today against their Jewish neighbors forget that the reason they are Israeli citizens is that their grandparents were blessed to stay put and trust the Jews after we won the 1948 war that the Arabs started. All those Arabs who became refugees after the 1948 war were the ones who fought against the Jews or listened to the Arab Muslim leaders who told them to leave their homes in order to allow for the Arab Muslim armies and militias to come in and massacre all the Jews and destroy the fledgling Jewish state of Israel. So today, they're not learning the lessons that anyone who blesses the Jews are blessed, and anyone who curses the Jews are cursed. And today, many Israeli Arab Muslim citizens have decided to join their Muslim brethren in Gaza to try to kill Jews within Israel and destroy Israel from within. Make no mistake, everybody, our enemies will lose. Just like pre-1948, our Muslim neighbors failed in massacring us and stopping the Jewish state of Israel of existing, so too today they will fail. Am Yisrael Chai, the Jewish people are alive, and we are blessed to have our homeland with an army. So what can you do? First of all, strengthen your belief in the one above. It's all up to him. Strive to be a better person and help me spread the truth. Do not be ashamed to share posts that share the truth. Who cares what your friends and family think? All of our lives are more important than people's feelings. The truth is more important than their feelings. And yes, if you are a Jew and not living in Israel yet, then come home. Anyone who thinks that the growth of this anti-Semitism in Israel won't come to Jewish communities abroad is in denial. With it all, here in Israel is where we Jews are supposed to be. And at the end of the day, we can defend ourselves here even with the complexities. Because in the end, our IDF army and police will set things straight here in Israel. But abroad, we don't have our own army to protect us. Am Yisrael Chai, folks. Stay strong, everyone. We will prevail.
Pulse of Israel, frontline videos from the Holy Land. Support our work by donating today.